today's news, government to lower all custom duties to 5% over a 3-month period, and gas and diesel taxes also cut by 50%. But we also see the minimum wage issue in the BVI purposely put on hold following back-to-back impacts from hurricanes, the pandemic, and the Commission of Inquiry. But we also see the Commission of Inquiry impacting government's purse, resulting in approximately $5 million in legal fees. And when will the BVI relax travel entry requirements, questions former Education Minister. And Farmer and Fishers Week 2022 to be held from March 27th to April 2nd. Well, viewers, these and more stories when 284 News returns.
Yo, everything good there?
Aye. This thing got me one way, daddy.
What do you mean?
Ever since I hook up with this thing, can't eat, I can't sleep. This is the first thing I touch it when I reach home.
What you really? Hey, this ain't like you know.
Dad, this thing got me staying home. Keeping out that trouble me.
Wow. What your name is?
Shit. I talking about my CCT life.
Don't worry about missing your favorite series, sports, news, and local programming. Come to CCT today and sign up for CCT Live to access over 80 channels. CCT Live. Bring it home.
1 month free trial turn into 5. 5 months turn into, well, you know I huff. I watching ball. I been watching football. Dad, Nickelodeon, Paw Patrol. I am hooked. Hook, I tell you.
Well, welcome everyone. It's Friday, March 25th, 2022. I'm Kamal Haynes, coming to you live from the beautiful British Virgin Islands. Well, a happy Friday to one and all, and thank you so much for joining us. Well, we start today's newscast on the subject of tax reduction for locals. Well, government will be reducing all import duties down to 5% over a 3-month period to cushion the global rise in prices, which is due to the increase of oil and fuel following the Russia's invasion of Ukraine. Well, Premier and Minister of Finance, Honorable Andrew Foy, made the announcement during a media briefing on Friday, March 25th. Well, he said all items with a custom duty exceeding 5% will be lowered to 5%, and all items which currently have a duty of 5% will remain to that 5% mark. Well, the Premier said the initiative will commence on April 15th and run for a period of 3 months in the first instance.
In this light, I'm pleased to announce that your government will be taken to Cabinet to have approved an economic stimulus initiative that will have all custom duties that are above 5% to be lowered to 5%. This will be effective from 15 April 2022 for 3 months in the first instance. So, all goods and services that are being imported into the country that presently carry a customs duty of more than 5% will be lowered to 5% from 15 April 2022 for 3 months in the first instance. For goods and services that presently have a duty of 5% or less, those charges will remain as they are. This will apply across the board, both to businesses and to private citizens. To give an example, if a person is looking to import a motor vehicle costing $30,000 including shipping, where the import duty would have been 20% or $6,000, under this initiative, the duty will be capped at 5% and they would pay the reduced duty of only $1,500 during the period of this stimulus initiative. Similarly, when it comes to importing food, clothing, construction materials, marine supplies and equipment, vehicle parts, products for senior citizens, and all other items where the regular custom duty is over 5%, persons and businesses will pay 5%, and this will lower the overall cost of importing the item. Persons should also note that the custom duty is calculated on the purchase price of the item plus the shipping cost, which is called the CIF value. So the calculation of the savings will not just be on the purchase price, which the supplier was paid, but the cost inclusive of freight and whatever other charges make up the CIF value.
Well, Premier Foy also said that his government will be reducing the import tax on both diesel and gasoline by 50% to ease residents at the pump.
In addition, your government is implementing measures to cushion the impact of rising fuel prices on our people. The import duty on diesel will be reduced by 50%, from 22 cents per imperial gallon to 11 cents per imperial gallon. The import duty on gasoline will also be reduced by 50%, from 32 cents per imperial gallon to 16 cents per imperial gallon. This should give our people some relief at the gas pumps and in their pockets. So the savings to all persons in all sectors will be significant, whether it is in the marine sector, the automotive sector, the construction sector, food imports, the tourism industry, hardware and home goods, all sectors across the board. This initiative will go a long way in helping the people of the Virgin Islands to better deal with the economic struggles they may be facing at this time, which are caused by these events that are occurring thousands of miles away and which are not the fault of anyone in the Virgin Islands, but yet who are being impacted as people are being impacted throughout the world.
Well, viewers, moving on to our next story, where Honorable Vincent Wheatley, Minister for Natural Resources, Labor and Immigration, has said that the minimum wage issue in the BVI was purposely placed on hold due to negative impacts suffered from the hurricanes, the pandemic, and the ongoing Commission of Inquiry. Minister Wheatley made the comment during today's press conference where he said that despite putting the subject on hold, the matter is still one that is long overdue of an assessment since 2019.
I think there was a study done around 2014 that said it should be revised in 5 years. It should have been 2019. But then up came the hurricanes and the pandemic and COI. I don't think businesses would like me right now if I decide to hike minimum wage. The employees might like it. It's something we have to discuss. I have intentionally put it off until we get a little more settled with the oil economy.
But although this revision is many years late, the minister admitted that addressing the minimum wage issue is necessary and hoped that the territory can move towards a livable wage.
So it's not a simpler thing to say, just raise minimum wage. I say some persons might like it, but you don't want to further complicate what's already a very difficult time, and not just on the BVI, throughout the entire world. Minimum wage is an interesting concept. I'd like to move more towards a living wage, but because if you tell somebody to pay minimum wage, there are those companies who do just that. Sometimes your minimum wage may not be a living wage. Right now, I think it's $6. If you really calculate what a person makes at minimum wage and look at house rents and the cost of goods and services, you can't live on that. It's not a living wage, but it's a minimum wage. And it's something I have looked at personally for a period of time, but you have to look at these things in the context of what's happening in the wider economy before we go trying to change it from what it is right now. But had all been equal and no hurricanes and no pandemic, yes, I probably would have advanced that a long time ago.
Well, viewers, up next, the Commission of Inquiry impacting government's purse, resulting in approximately $5 million in legal fees. And when will the BVI relax travel entry requirements? Questions former Education Minister Myron Rowan. With these and more stories after a word from our sponsors.
There's a reason you get up on a morning. A reason you pick yourself up, start the day. Maybe it's sheer grit. Maybe it's your ethics. Maybe it's because you know people like you are waiting for people just like you. We all have our reasons, and for Republic Bank, that reason is you. Every little thing, every big thing. It's all about making a difference in your life. Because after 182 years, if it's one thing we're sure about, is that the difference is you. We're here to help.
Republic Bank, we're the one for you.
Hello?
Wait, you had a long time. You say you were sick? What happened to our wedding rehearsal?
No, babe. I'm actually watching the news right now. Take a listen.
Topping our newscast today, UFOs seen around Tortola Pier Park.
And District 3 residents outraged
over no water supply. They simply cannot bathe. These and more stories when 284 News returns.
All right, babe, just get some rest, take 2 Advil, and I'll see you later. Bye.
Okay, honey, I see you later. I love you.
It's clear to see that Coconut Lounge is a place to be, the coolest cocktail lounge in the British Virgin Islands. A lounge like no other, with welcoming, professional service, and a breathtaking ambiance. Not forgetting a diverse selection of wines, beers, and signature cocktails. Cozy, comfortable, contemporary. Coconut Lounge at Tortola Pier Park. Visit us today.
Welcome back, viewers. Well, the Commission of Inquiry has taken a toll on the government's finances, with approximately $5 million already expended in legal fees to defend the territory's reputation. But this is according to Premier and Minister of Finance, Honorable Andrew Foy, who addressed what he termed to be stress that the Commission of Inquiry has so far caused on the public service. Take a listen.
And we then had to cope with an imposed Commission of Inquiry that has taken a toll on your government financially and that has affected many of our people emotionally, especially our public officers, in terms of the way the CI was initiated and due to the strenuous deadlines with requests for information that were at times very unreasonable. Nonetheless, we continue to stress that we have no disagreement with a transparent and independent inquiry that will yield a just outcome. The issue has been the manner in which the inquiry was done and the timing of it, given the hefty and complex challenges that the government and our public officers and our people and all our Virgin Islands and residents had to be dealing with in the middle of COVID-19.
Well, when asked to elaborate on the financial toll the Commission of Inquiry has taken on the government, the Premier equated the financial damage to approximately $5 million.
Can you give me a figure today, sir, as regards how the Commission of Inquiry has impacted the territory's finances?
I would say that it's impacted in the millions, close to $5 million or not more. But the exact figure, when the time comes, I'll give, because it's something that continues. When that extended, we have to extend our figures in legal, public relations, etc., to protect the name of the country. The BVI cannot be deemed as having the mindset that we do not want to be looked into. That's not the point at all. But we want to make sure that we've been given a fair due process in the middle of this. But at the same time, we're not a nut without a shell. We do have to protect the name of the Virgin Islands, and to protect your name costs.
Moving on, viewers, where in a recent Facebook post, former Education Minister and businessman Myron Warwin publicly questioned as to when the BVI will relax travel entry requirements. Well, following his post, 284 News reached out to the former minister, who had the following to say.
The effects of the current conflict in Russia and the Ukraine on our tourism sector must be closely examined. We recently saw some light at the end of the tunnel in this sector, but any increase in fuel costs could possibly undermine that progress if it forces airlines and other stakeholders to increase their fares. With our local tourism sector still in the recovery stage, we should do everything within our grasp to ease the access to the territory. Other countries that are more accessible by air have relaxed their COVID entry protocols. Countries like Puerto Rico and Antigua have recently relaxed their entry requirements. The latter has even made mask wearing optional. The COVID situation in the BVI is largely under control. It is time to revisit our entry requirements, particularly in light of all the other challenges that are currently threatening the economic health of the territory, over which we have no control. We have to be more diligent and percipient. This is serious business.
Well, viewers, all travel entry protocols in the BVI are still in place. For unvaccinated persons, they are required to quarantine for a period of 5 days and test at the end of a 5-day period. Or partially vaccinated persons are required to quarantine for 4 days and test at the end of a 4-day period. Or both categories must quarantine in spaces by themselves. Well, up next, Farmer and Fishers Week 2022 to be held from March 27th to April 2nd, and the highly anticipated original local play Resilience or Legacy Unchained set for this weekend. But we get to these stories when 284 News return.
We interrupt your regularly scheduled programming to bring you this breaking CCT Live update.
Hello listeners, thank you for joining. I'm Ron Grant reporting for 284 News out of Tortola in the British Virgin Islands with this very special breaking news report. Since the start of 2022, customers have been taking advantage of the 1-month free trial for CCT Live TV and signing up for Fire Fiber Internet. Residents Kyra Powell, Massa Hickinbottom, Carly Cartel, and others have taken to social media to heap praise on CCT for the fiber internet and CCT Live TV. However, we have just been told that the 1-month free trial for CCT Live TV will finish at the end of March. Customers are asked and being advised to go to CCT today and take advantage of this deal before it goes away. Reporting for 284 News out of Tortola in the British Virgin Islands, I'm Ron Grant.
You value traditions. Today, you value music. You value education. Family. I love you. Service.
Thank you. You're welcome.
Love. Life. At Popular, we're committed to you and everything our community values. For the things you value the most, count on us. Popular.
Livestream cable TV is here with CCT Live. Access over 80 channels that you can watch either at home or when you're on the go. And don't worry about missing your favorite series, sports, news, and local programming. Rewind and watch in your own time. Come to CCT today and ask about our 1-month free trial offer. CCT Live. Bring it home.
Well, welcome back, viewers. Well, Farmers and Fishers Week 2022 is scheduled to be held in the British Virgin Islands from this coming Sunday, March 27th, and will run until Saturday, April 2nd. Well, our Ron Grant has this story.
Minister for Education, Culture, Youth Affairs, Fisheries and Agriculture, Dr. the Honorable Natalia Wheatley, said in an official Government Information Services release that he is hoping for another successful week as preparations are underway for the hosting of Farmers and Fishers Week 2022. This year's activities will begin on Sunday, March 27th and culminate on Saturday, April 2nd. Honorable Wheatley said he is especially looking forward to the cultural demonstrations and exhibits from this year's participants. In an official comment, he said, and I quote, "I commend our farmers and fishers for the important job they execute in keeping fresh, healthy, and high-quality produce on our table, and I look forward to being able to purchase various agriculture produce," he said, adding, "I ask that patrons show support and come out in numbers on the various events planned in Tortola and on the other sister islands." Permanent Secretary Mrs. Carolyn Stout-Igwe stated that the ministry hopes to build on last year's return of activities to commemorate Farmers and Fishers Week. Mrs. Stout-Igwe said, and I quote, "This year there will be activities on Tortola as well on the sister islands of Anegada, Virgin Gorda, and Jos Van Dyke, with a variety of events for the entire family to enjoy." Director of the Department of Fisheries and Agriculture, Mr. Theodore E. James, said that this year's theme of Rise, a Time for Action, Impact, and Inspiration depicts the desire of the department to extensively promote agriculture in the Virgin Islands. James said the youth will be the focus of a number of the activities, stating, and I quote, "We want to inspire them to consider agriculture and fishers as fields for prospective careers." The week of activities begins with a message from the Minister, Dr. the Honorable Natalia D. Wheatley, and includes the launching of a daily profile of a farmer and fisher on the Government of the Virgin Islands Facebook page. This continues for the remainder of the week and at regular intervals through the year. Now activities will be held on Monday at Jos Van Dyke Primary School, and on Tuesday there will be a market day and a dedication ceremony for the department's Virgin Gorda station. School farm visits will also take place on Wednesday, and there is also a special agriculture hike for adults at the farm in Carrot Bay. Thursday's activities will be on Anegada with the revitalization of the school's garden, the groundbreaking for the construction of a poultry pen for the school's project, and a site visit to the proposed lands to be used for agriculture purpose. Friday's activities will be a video reflection titled Reflections of the Heart by Ken Pemberton. Now the week will conclude on Saturday, April 2nd with the Farmers and Fishers Exhibition and Market Day at Parakeeta Bay from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. Patrons can and expect a variety of local produce, foods, drinks, entertainment, educational sessions, demonstrations, and displays. Reporting for 284 News, Ron Grant.
Well, thank you, Ron. Well, viewers, moving on, where the highly anticipated original local play entitled Resilience or Legacy Unchained is scheduled for tomorrow, Saturday, and Sunday this weekend at the Eileen L. Parsons Auditorium at the H. Lavity Stoke Community College. But the play is a narrative metaphor for the essence of Virgin Islands culture, resilience. It reimagines Nottingham Estate, Tortola circa the 1770s and highlights the condition of that period as well as its ramifications on the Afro-Caribbean familial unit. Well, I recently had the pleasure of interviewing the writer of the play, Miss Caris Marie Hoyt, and as well as the director and producer, Miss Via Donovan Hodge. Well, here's a brief insight on what to expect this weekend.
Narratively, the play, as you mentioned, is set in 1770s, like a reimagined modern version of the Nottingham Estate. It looks at this character Resilience and really her struggle to understand her place in that society at that time. She often finds herself in compromising to positions that put her and her loved ones in danger, and one day those consequences come about from her actions. As it pertains to like the socio-emotional or the socio-historical definition of what this play is, it's about redefining what it means to be a Virgin Islander and on the greater scale a member of the Black diaspora, what our legacy entails as people and all of that, what it comes to be, what it pertains to that. So I'm gonna stop there. Yeah.
Okay, so as far as how this play came about, we have a third producer who could not be with us today, Rikia Brathwaite. So she's also in the industry of theater. She's an actress, and she had an idea. She wanted to do a play. She knew what she wanted to be about, and she approached me about it, knowing that I could direct it. So we needed a script. I called up my beautiful friend Caris here, and I was just like, "Hey, can you write a play?" And she was just like, "I'm not sure, but I'll try." So she started writing. We have, a couple versions of this play that have existed throughout the last year, up until this final project that we have right now. As far as what has gone into creating this, it has been a lot. We held auditions last year in March.
Yeah.
Then we held auditions again this year in September or late August. We have been rehearsing for a very long time now with our cast of about 7 to 8 people. We have, created sets. I've been painting a lot of our sets. Finding other people in the community who have a passion for theater as well and wanted a place to experience and be a part of that outlet and create something that would be impactful for our community and help us to refamiliarize and reintroduce the community to theater, because really what we wanted to do with this production is say, hey, we have this art form that's really important and that we don't see enough in the BVI, and also how can we integrate that to making sure that culture is an important part of the art form.
Well, the two theater arts professionals also took the time to speak on the talent pool within the BVI, as well as to describe some of the characters within the play.
There's no particular order, If we start with our first responders, for example, we have Tashima Barzi. She is a first responder. She's a supervisor in I want to say it's the emergency team, and she plays a character called Gertrude. Let's just call her Gertrude for now, Trudy. And she plays, I guess she represents that your favorite auntie kind of character, so a character that you relate with in the sense of she is your defense or your little guide into the big world. We have Kerry Otley, who is a police officer. He plays, without giving things away, his character is called Adam. And he is a strong voice within the production. He brings a sense of reason that we as an audience have to decide, is it just, is it right, are his motives? We have Hashim Lewis, or Hashim the Dream. He is a teacher, but he's also a musician, soca artist. And he comes in and brings this intensity that every production needs to really have, what sense of you know, just a sense
Something
of
at stake,
intensity.
some risk.
A sense of intensity that he brings in. Again, we have Shamar Trim. He's in the field of medicine right now. He owns a dance company, and he's also one of the leading actors in this production. And his performance is just very heartfelt and full of hope and a depth that, though I wrote the character, I did not expect to see in certain scenes. It's like every time we see it as a cast, we're like, wow. We have Nikoi Stout, who is he's like a student. He's an environmentalist. And he brings, again, he came in the second round of the production, because again, we extended the production. He's an additional character, and he came in with like a diligence, like he made all of us borderline feel inadequate those first 2 weeks when he came in, because he knew his life, his blocking, and everything was done. And of course, we have Rekia Brathwaite. She has dedicated, like I would say, a good amount of her life to this, you know, studied acting, University of Miami, and again, without her really feeling that void, that as a thespian, like there's no space for us, and wanted to create something, she gets that. So she just puts everything into it. She's just an innocence that comes with it that makes her character even much more, I guess, engaging. So the innocence of it, her ability to bring forth a childlike innocence to this character. And I think finally the last person is me, Carrie Suri. I do PR, public relations, communications in my 9 to 5, and I wrote the piece, and then I'm acting this character who is very much not like me, but I think Via will be able to...
She's found herself in the character. I will say that. She has found herself in this character, bits of herself.
Well, viewers, to ensure you get access to this play, which is scheduled for this Saturday and Sunday from 6:21 p.m., you can reach out to JNC Trading, Beans Coffee Shop, or E&B Convenience Store. And after conversations with Ms. Hoyt and also Ms. Donovan Hodge, you can also reach out to them, and any of the cast members you may know or personally know or have their contacts in terms of Facebook, Instagram, social media pages. You can reach out to them as well to basically get access to those seats. And those tickets are $25 for regular seats and $50 for preferred seating. Well, to watch the full interview, log on to our 284 Media platforms, that's the 284 Media website, as well as our Facebook page to gain the full grasp, basically, of what that play will be about. Based off my knowledge as well, I was told the preferred seating has sold out to date, so basically try to do as much as you can to get those $25 seats as soon as possible. Remember, it's this Saturday and Sunday at the Eileen L. Parsons Auditorium at the H. Lavity Stout Community College, and feel free to basically go out there and support local theater performance arts in the territory. As we do know, it's a new wave. It's a wave basically where it could basically mean a lot for the future talent of the BVI, where it can actually set a trend going forward for the local talent here in the BVI. So feel free to basically go there. Remember, the seating is it starts at 6:21 p.m. That's when it starts in terms of the door open. But remember, this show is actually 7:21 p.m. And as Ms. Donovan Hodge did say, you know, be there on time. So viewers, that's it for today's news roundup. Be sure to follow us for daily news updates at 284media.com, and like us on Facebook at 284media and 284BVI on Instagram and Twitter. I'm Kamal Haynes. Have a good evening. Bye-bye.
Alright, do enjoy the rest of the day. Next customer line, please. Wait, hold on a second.
Yes, Sonny boy, come, yes, Sonny.
Good morning.
Good morning, Sonny boy. Hold on there. You must have cut front of people.
It's okay, I'll take care of it.
What? No man to take care of me.
How may I assist you?
Yes.
You want top of power?
You want top of power?
Join the prepaid party with CCT and enjoy more affordable data plans, more top-up promotions, more savings with hero bundles, and more value for your money each and every Tuesday with Top Up Turn Up Tuesday. Visit a CCT store today or anywhere CCT Top Up is sold and top up your phone.
5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. You want top of power?